This week's review gun has everything. High quality, low price, loads of history and fun written all over it. Hello and welcome to AAR On Air. This week is the review of the truly superb Gletcher NGT Russian replica revolver. But be aware, this one comes with a wealth warning. Shall we start with a history lesson on this one first? We should probably use its real name, the Nagant M1895, and I suppose we should highlight that whilst this is very much linked with the old Russian Empire, it was in fact made by the Belgian industrialist Leon Nagant, who did indeed make it for the Russian Imperial Army and police, effectively replacing the Smith & Wesson Model 3. So widely was it accepted that the manufacturing rights were purchased by Russia in 1898 and production moved to Russia and saw 20,000 of these being produced per year. Strangely enough, there were two versions produced, a double action version for officers and a cheaper single action for the lower ranks. The next part has a feeling of irony about it because this was commissioned by Imperial Russia, only to have 7 of these used by the communist revolutionaries in the murder of the royal family and their servants in the Russian Revolution of 1918. Following this start of communism, all future M1895s were only produced in double action. This held the 7.62 by 38 ammunition, and setting it apart from most other revolvers, it held 7 rounds rather than the usual 6. But its downfall ultimately was the requirement to individually load and unload each cartridge through the side gate, at a time when top brake cylinders were becoming popular and, of course, were far less time consuming. As is often the case, you can still find these in use post the revolution and even up to modern day by one group of individuals or another. You could call this historically versatile because it has been used by most everyone from monarchists to revolutionaries, freedom fighters to oppressive regimes. It has been a weapon that has been as much of a tool of liberation as it has been a weapon of control. I suppose it simply depends on which side of the fence the user was. It does seem somewhat strange that such a small revolver has played such a big part in history. So what about this Gletcher replica then? It is tiny at 230mm or 9 inches long and tips the scales at a Weight Watchers winning 700 grams or 1.54 pounds. It looks extremely small and yet fits the hand and feels everything but small when using it. I must say the quality of materials used in the construction of this are very good and is pretty much all metal. It has a short, approximately 110mm long barrel with a fixed post front sight that matches up with a rear groove sight that is also non-adjustable. Behind this is the hammer. This is the dual action version, so you have a choice of how you want to shoot this. The loading gate for the cylinder is on the right hand side and is a simple swing arm that will clear an access route for loading and unloading the 7 shells or cartridges supplied. These cartridges are front-loading BB cartridges and are happy to take ammunition from steel to Dust Devils, copper or plastic, or whatever 4.5mm you prefer. The front-loading part means you need to remove the shells to load them, which of course adds to the feel of realism for this authentic replica. There is also a really easy and very useful safety on the right hand side, which is really easy to use and very defined with red for fire indicator. With this in safe, it locks everything up, trigger and hammer. I really like this feature. The trigger is again metal and not heavy at all. It is only single stage, but this isn't some Olympic 10-meter target pistol. I really love those grips. They look so authentic and are amazing how comfortable they are considering their waif-like size. This is removable to reveal the 12-gram CO2 chamber, and the bottom hoop doubles up as the CO2 tightening tool, so no hex keys to lose. Always a bonus. Now, for those who want to take things apart, this has stripping capability and is pretty simple to do. Firstly, twist and pull back the ramrod. Then swivel this to one side. This will allow you to remove the magazine pin. Once this is out, then open up the gate on the right hand side and the cylinder can then be removed from the right hand side. Naturally, refitting is simply the reverse of this, but remember to push in that barrel seal. How simple is that? Power testing time then. This is designed to be less than 3 joules, as is about right for a replica revolver. So, load it up with standard steel 5.4 grain BBs. It saw 333 feet per second, which is 1.3 foot-pounds or 1.76 joules, which is straight away higher than the figures shown on the box of 328 feet per second. So what about the Dust Devils then? Well, with these on board weighing 4.35 grains, it saw 345 feet per second, which is 1.15 foot-pounds or 1.56 joules. Lastly, just for giggles, I popped in some plastic ASG blasters at 2 grains, and it naturally saw a much faster 498 feet per second, which is 1.1 foot-pounds or 1.49 joules. The real takeaway here is that it is happy to shoot almost anything you want to put in it. And hopefully those faster speeds will help with the accuracy. Time then to put that theory to the test and have a little fun with this out on the range and see if there are any revolting tin cans that need sorting. Just 10 metres then. Here goes. The NGT-F. I really like this, or the Nagant, as with the original makers. It's quite a compact little thing, but so much history, as we've already talked about. 7 rounds, not the usual 6, and this is a dual action rather than single action. But here we are, nice sunny day, cold but nice. Shall we give it a go? I have no idea how accurate this is going to be, and to be honest, it's not about accuracy. To me, it's all about history. I will probably never even shoot it, but a lot of people do, and they get an awful lot of pleasure from it as well, and I fully understand it. So we'll do a bit of target work, see if it does group at all, and then we'll do some tin cans for some fun, shall we? Here we go. 10 metres. That's it, we're out. Safety on. Nice little safety on that. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Now, to be honest, That's a lot better than a lot of pistols and revolvers that I shoot, certainly BBs. I think that's pretty good. I'd accept that. That's tin cans every time, isn't it? And if that is tin cans every time, let's prove it, shall we? The bit that I do like about this is it forces you to take the shells out and load them individually, rather than leaving them in the gun and taking the idle way of doing it and just popping them in the back. I do quite like that. And it's dead easy because you just prod it onto a BB of whatever sort, and this will shoot pretty much anything. It's not fussy at all, which is great. Then once you've done that, with the side gate open, slide them in individually. A bit cold on the fingers today, but it's a lovely day. So that gate closed, 6 tin cans, 7 rounds. Here we go. I needed one. I like that. It's good fun. It's really, really good fun. And for the money, I think that's exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. I love it. Especially with that really solid safety. That's it. The Nagant NGT-F. Back to the studio. You know, these really are great fun and so at home in a plinking environment. And if you're worried about ricocheting, just load it up with Dust Devils and the problem is completely and utterly solved. I know I said at the start the build quality on this is superb, and it really is. And something of this quality you would expect to pay quite a reasonable amount of money for. Well, here is the best news. Vector Air, who very kindly loaned me this to review, are doing these for an unbelievable £99 at the moment, but be warned, there is a limited supply of them and it will be first come, first served. And I can pretty much say that they are already down by one of these because this is a real keeper for the AAR collection. I remember shooting one of these many years ago and thought at the time how good it was, and this time I'm not letting it out of my hands. I really enjoyed this one. Hopefully you have too. If so, please give us the old thumbs up, subscribe and keep an eye on that alarm bell as YouTube seem to be resetting it. Best to give it another click. Don't forget, of course, to visit the AAR On Air website for competitions, merch and so much more. A big thank you to Vector Air for getting hold of this for me to review for you. That's it. Please stay safe and shoot safe, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. I really, really like that.